The once energetic mender approaches, looking worn and troubled. I'm not sure I thanked you for the time to recover. I never wove a spell that strong before. Are you sure you're ready to move on? You look... crappy? I know. I caught my reflection earlier. It's a more mature look. The mender grins, and a hint of his former youth shines through. Not everyone would have stopped for so long, especially with the ground rumbling like it has. We'll get there no matter how long it takes. I'm glad you feel that way, but crumbling mountains and chasms might be a sign to move faster than slower. You give a smile that doesn't quite reach your eyes. Right. Well, thanks again. He walks off, glancing back at you only once. Last time I think I said something slightly different, because last time I think he was a little angry at me. Not anything I don't think that's going to affect the story, but just enough. Game trail, one of the hunters says, looking at the beaten path of grass. No telling what we might find down it, but it'll fill some stomachs. Make a wager for who brings back the biggest kill. Everyone in the group starts smiling and tossing coins in a purse before heading down the trail. When it branches, 2 hunters sprint left and 3 think the center looks promising. I search the ground for clues. The other hunters took paths with cloven hoof tracks. There's a chance that you could kill the largest boar among them. To the right are rabbit tracks and possibly something much bigger. It's hard to tell. Alright, so I decided to follow the center trail, I believe, last time? Center or left? Maybe I went left. Because I didn't want to go off on my own, because I didn't know if that meant Rook all by himself getting ambushed somewhere, so we're going to follow some of the hunters. The 2 hunters who came this way are working together to take down a large boar. They handle the dangerous beast deftly with a few arrows and a spear. Though you could keep looking, besting their kill by yourself would prove fatal. Good job, guys. The other hunters are late in returning, and 2 of them are helping a third. The man's leg is bleeding, but it will heal. Didn't see that other male coming, one hunter says. Just glad we got clear. The 2 hunters split the winnings and drinks are shared while the injured man's leg is mended. Later, the entire caravan enjoys stories of the hunt while feasting. I don't think it matters. Last time I did go with the guys who got injured. Easy, boy! A clansman shouts as a yax nearly topples the cart. The trampled path of the Eastway Road is steadily turned into a cracked shamble. Looking ahead, it only gets worse. The various chasms gape like open mouths. You glance to Avon, who looks at you and shakes his head. The entire caravan comes to a halt. We'll be eating our belts before we find a way across this broken road, especially with this many. And there's no telling how far we'd have to backtrack to head north. Well, then we'll head south across the Ozma riverbed. We can head towards Grundar on the west. Trigvi peers around Hakon's elbow before coming fully into view. Heading south is questionable. Those people. Why do you say that? Maybe I spent time there before. Maybe plenty of things to eat under logs, but also there's people in the bogs. I don't remember what accent I gave him, so I'm just making him talk like that. The Skald should hear my rhyme. What's wrong with heading south? Different ways of living. Old ways. Stick to the mud. The cragsmen are less bothersome. I think he's talking about the boggers, the rough backward people of Swartzbog. Trigivy frowns at Ivor. Words like that'll find you swollen, filled with poison. He puffs out his cheeks and stares at Ivor. That's why the Varl tend to keep to themselves. Each human is crazy in their own way. Trigivy hunches over with one shoulder until he suddenly stops, sniffing the air and marches away. Strange, but it's a fair warning. We're crossing over into lands where most of us have never seen. Just because we left the dredge behind doesn't mean we won't have more wars ahead of us. And if we had more supplies, I'd say we should stop for a few days and train some of these clansmen to fight. You consider your options. I think this is what I did. If I remember. If I remember correctly, this is what I did. Okay. Oh, good. Thank goodness. This is what I did, and I have gotten to the place where my recording kicked back in. So, I am going to stop here and hope that everything works out for the best. Wish us luck. Thanks for watching. If this worked, you might just continue on watching whatever video you're watching right now. But, I'm gonna stop this now. I will hope and pray. Okay, so I am back. I have not actually played this game in a couple of days. I don't know where this is going to fall in my actual videos that are coming out on YouTube. But up until now, you've been watching all one long-ass play session with a couple breaks for food and such. And now I'm hopefully going to do another long-ass play session today. Maybe even finish the game. I don't know. But, so if I'm inconsistent with things like the voices that I've been giving characters and stuff like that, that's why. Couple days have gone by, I've forgotten who I am and what I'm doing. I have no life, really. So, I'm gonna take a drink of water before I have to read a whole lot. And, I don't actually remember exactly what we're doing, but we're sure gonna talk to Prince Luden. The prince is acting even more standoffish than usual. I'm off to a great start, I can read. The prince is acting even more standoffish than usual. You and Ivor have caught him staring ahead and twisting the ring on his finger over and over. Yrsa quietly stands nearby. Glad to be heading home. Luden turns to the two of you and offers a polite smile. Even after that chasm, would it surprise you if I said no? Yeah, a little. I thought you hated being so far from Aberrang. Life on the trail hasn't won me over, but it's not all bad. It's even possible that I've learned a few things about leading people while I was out here. You, Ivor, and Yrsa are stunned to hear the prince talk this way. I'm not, but, you guys might not be either because you only know him from this game. But in the previous game, he was kind of a giant ass. I've grown up in comfort and trained with scholars and fighters. I've never known anything else. Saying stuff like that won't make you any friends in this caravan. But that's just it. Among these clansmen, I've seen the differences. I think I understand them a bit more. No, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you think so, but I doubt my father will. Yrsa will agree. My father's not what you call open-minded. I gave her a Russian accent, I think I remember. The king's a hard man. Has to be. But his son is his weakness. A bad Russian accent, because you guys all know I don't do good accents here. That's not why we're here. Luden glares at her, but the archer smirks. His weakness? Don't listen to her. What's your words, Prince? What? I wasn't telling you what to do. An awkward, icy moment passes between them, and between the prince and his bodyguard. Maynolf was fearful of sending Luden away, so he sent his 2 advisors to watch him. You were one of King Maynolf's advisors? Yrsa gives you a wry smile. Regardless of who he sent to protect me, I had no say in the matter. Kings usually have to make a tough decision and stick with it. Maybe someday you'll see why. I know. I just don't think he'll care for my ideas on treating with Pez commoners. Well, what would you like to be called? We're all people, Prince. Even you. Perhaps you're right. Just keep an open mind about your father, the way you'd like him to have towards your ideas. That's something I never considered before. I'll think about it. So yeah, treat people how they like to be treated. Shocker. As Prince Luden and Yrsa walk away, you feel Ivor watching you. What? Do you believe half the nonsense you say? I think I sounded really wise just then. It sounded like you've been practicing it for a while. That's fair. I'll work on it. The two of you share a smile before moving on. I like those two. They're my bro TP. They are my bro TP. Alright, well, everybody's pretty miserable. How's my... Do I have any renown with which to level up my dudes? I've got some. They keep taking my guys off. It drives me crazy. Stop it. Let's see. I could... Maybe... Can I level up Hakon? Do I have enough? I do. Okay. Cool. I'm not going to put them in order here because there's no point. But now I've got my heroes. I consider her to be a hero. All leveled to level 5. And that's great. That's helpful. And why don't we rest once just to cheer the people up a little bit. And then we will be on our way. Oh yeah, I was going to try the training one more time. Oh well. Oh well. Not going to camp again right away. A group of 24 humans, thin and dirty, step off the rough path to let the caravan pass. Please, a young girl says. Anything to eat? Her mother, eyes averted, pulls the girl by the arm to silence her. Why are you out here? Home's for bird. Oh, sorry, I have to do the voice for the men that I give them. Home's for bird, the man says, coughing. Cowards didn't even show a banner. Now we're just trying to get somewhere safe to start over. Last time I took on peasants, they bit me in the ass. But, I don't know. I think we better keep our clan small for right now. Oh, but he's such a softie. He's such a softie, though. I have to play Rook's character, and he would let them join. Worried glances are exchanged amongst the group until a man says, better than us starving out there on our own. They all tend to agree and thank you, joining the rear of the caravan. He's probably gonna bite me in the ass, but that is what Rook would do, and I'm trying to play his character. I'm sorry. Easy boy, a clansman shouts, as a yak's cart nearly topples to one side. The trampled path of the Eastway Road is steadily turning into a cracked shamble. Looking ahead, it only gets worse. Various chasms gape like open mouths. That's never good. You glance at Eyvind, who looks at you and shakes his head. The entire caravan comes to a halt. Eyvind! Eyvind! Don't you flake out on me. We'll be eating our belts before finding a way across this broken road, especially with this many. And there's no telling how far we'd have to backtrack to head north. I forget what accent I gave him, so blanket Scottish accents for everyone. Then we'll head south across the Orsma riverbed. We can head towards Grundar and on west. All these places have such silly names. That guy, his name I can't pronounce but has amazing hair, peers around Hakon's elbow before coming fully into view. I forget what accent I gave him. Was it Cockney? Did I give him a Cockney accent? He's gonna have one now. Heading south is questionable. Those people... Why do you say that? I want to hear everybody out. Maybe I spent a lifetime there. Plenty of things to eat under logs, but there's also people in the bogs. His eyes go wide. The skull should hear my rhyme. What's wrong with heading south? Different ways of living. Old ways. Stick to the mud. The cragsmen are less bothersome. I think he's talking about the boggers, the rough backwards people of Swartbog. Tigrivi frowns at Ivor. Words like that can find you swollen, filled with poison. He puffs out his cheeks and stares at Ivor. This is why Varl tend to keep to themselves. Each human is crazy in their own way. Tigrivi hunches over with laughter until he suddenly stops, sniffing the air, and marches away. Strange, but it's fair warning. We're crossing into lands most of us have never seen. Just because we left those dredge behind doesn't mean we won't have more wars ahead of us. If we had more supplies, I'd say we should stop for a few days and train some of these clansmen to fight. You consider your options. I don't want to risk running out of food. Are you sure? I know food is scarce, but if we're killed in a fight, full carts won't help us. All right. You're giving me blatant hints here, like, here, please train. So let's train up some soldiers so I can lose them 10 minutes later. They can fall off a cliff or something.